Quiet luxury or subtle luxury is a soft, kind of wealthy stance and demeanor and posture. It's not something that screams for attention. There's such a big difference in life and in design and in clothing and lifestyle and just obtaining and going after things that you're trying to achieve. Quiet luxury is something that just is. It's like you're not flashy, you're not boastful, you're not arrogant, it comes from like a humble place, but a respected and disciplined place. So, for example, let's say you're trying to change your appearance and maybe you don't like how people see you. I used to see a lot of women talk about when they lose weight, they're like, oh, now people are treating me different because I was big and now I've lost 50 pounds or whatever. And they look at it like, how dare you treat me different because I lost weight? But what they're not realizing is that what you're putting out is kind of what you're getting back. So if you look like a slob and you look lazy and unfit and uncared for and unkept, that's the response that you're getting. It's just a natural response. It's like you could have a homeless person on the side of the road. Maybe that person has a master's degree and they're really smart in some area, but people go by what they see. And if they see that he's unkept and smelly and dirty, that's how they're going to respond to him. Now, if you had that same person and he looked well kept, he or she would get a different response. So the subtle luxury style is not something that demands attention. It's not screaming for attention. It's not overly done and flashy this and flashy that and look at me and look what I have and look how great I am. I see a lot of women as they get older. I don't know why this is, but they feel like they're, maybe because they're aging, they overcompensate in another area. So they have like a ton of jewelry. I'm not saying this is wrong. I'm just saying this is something that I've noticed. Fake eyelashes and nose rings and big hats and hair extensions and bleach blonde hair and bright red lipstick and clothes that are just really flashy and maybe overly revealing because it's almost like they're screaming for attention and to try to either make themselves look younger or they're, I don't know if it stems from just if it's just a personal style, but it's just a common thing that you see sometimes as women get older. Very rarely do you see the older woman who carries herself with just a few rhinestones, not a bunch of neon everything, or just a diamond here and a gold, necklace and subtle. Like she carries herself with a posture and a demeanor that says, I'm quality. These are the standards I have for myself. And it is a different look. Like it's not judging and it's not putting people into categories. It's just a different look. And so there's the subtle luxury style, and then there's the screaming for attention style. You're going to get two different responses depending on which one you embrace. So if you're embracing I'm screaming for attention and I want everyone to look at me, that, in my opinion, looks needy. It looks like you have to have somebody looking at you to make you feel better about yourself. It's not coming from like a position of power and authority. It's coming from hey, you better respect me, you better look at me, you better see what I have, look at me. It's like demanding attention. So this is just a different kind of video. Subtle luxury also doesn't go for all of the logos and stuff. So in design, I see everyone has this Tom Ford book. I think it's gross. Actually, if you open the book, it's hideous. The pictures are hideous. It's not even a beautiful book. And when everybody has something, I naturally am like, okay, I don't want it because everybody has it. It makes it lose the value. It like loses its prestigiousness, And so anyways, subtle luxury, screaming for attention. So depending on which side of the spectrum you are moving towards, I'm moving towards the subtle luxury, obviously the quiet luxury. This is just an elevated way of living without like caring what everybody else is doing or thinking or demanding or showcasing or whatever. And it's not overly done. And actually, it saves you quite a bit of money, because instead of buying 5 trendy, flashy things, you invest in 1 good thing or 2 good things. And so the quality, it's quality over quantity. It's less is more, but it's more of the better things and less of the lower or the cheap things. Because when you're screaming for attention, you're filling yourself up with a bunch. Like it's the same thing with over decorating a place, or over decorating your face, or over decorating your body. It's like, I think a lot of women are actually moving away from all of the fake eyelashes and extensions, and I've seen some extensions that look amazing. Like, I'm not knocking that. I mean, heck, I would try it. But I see women moving away from that, because for the past like 5 years or 10 years, it's been like lip injections, eyelashes, boobs, extensions, bleach blonde hair, nose rings, tattoos, almost like a rebellion. But the problem is, if you are not submitted to the right authority, then rebellion is just kind of chaos. It's not with really a purpose. It's like a rebellious teenager. Well, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to rebel against the authorities or whatever. And then you get older and you're like, nobody's telling me what to do, and I'm going to rebel. So it's not rooted in anything that's like pure or true or I don't want this to come across the wrong way, like, oh, if you have all these tats and tattoos, you're not worthy. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that if you are doing it because you're rebelling against, things, it's like kids, like teenagers, that everybody wants to be different, but then they all end up being the same because they all adopt the same mindset, if that makes sense. So everybody's doing the same thing. They're craving to be different. They want to stand out, but then they want to stand out so bad they end up looking like each other. They all look alike. It's like, well, it becomes a trend. Like, well, I want to be rebellious, so I'm going to shave this side of my head. And then every other kid in school does the same thing, because they all want to be different too, but then they all end up being the same. It's like, well, you're doing exactly what everybody else is doing. You're not standing out. You're not being different. So adopting this kind of quiet luxury mindset is like, you're snapped out of what is in. You're not even embracing these trends that go up and down, especially in the home design or home decor world, where people are just blowing their money on trends that fade. You will find Stanley cups in almost every Goodwill store now, because it's a trend, $70, $80. And I'm going to admit, I bought one time. I bought it, and then I realized there was a bunch of aluminum in them, and they were so top heavy, and it tipped over. As soon as it tips over, it's all scratched up. Spills everywhere. So then you have to buy a straw cover. You got to keep buying, all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, so what's the benefit? It fits in a cup holder in my car. That's why I'm spending all this money on it. Now they're in every thrift store. And so these trends that people chase to have the trend, and then I see like keychains or cup keychains for your cup. So now you have this fully decorated cup with all these lid covers and all. Quiet luxury is just simplicity in an elevated way. It's quality over quantity. It's investing in pieces that are going to be timeless, and they're going to stand the test of time. Not outfits and clothing that is just, demanding attention and screaming for, attention. And most of the time when you're chasing that, it's a lot more revealing too. Quiet luxury is modest. It's more of a modest look. It's a modest style. I'm not like, oh, you got to have your shirt buttoned up to your neck and you can't show any skin, but it's generally more on the modest spectrum than it is on the super sexualized spectrum. So if you're looking for something different in your home, in your life, start getting clear on what style you're leaning towards and what your future self looks like, because that's going to be important to get a clear definition of what's important to you, what your style is, what you want to look like, what you want to present, how you want to carry yourself. And it's like here's a good example. It's like somebody who has a nice luxury car versus somebody who has like a cheaper car, but then they've got bumper stickers, or they decked it all out, or they just, it's lime green, it has a loud exhaust. So there's a difference there. The price could be the same once they put all of those decals and exhaust and paint and all that, than it would be on the luxury car, because of all that stuff. So you're adding more of all of this to try to make yourself almost prompt a response from people. You're looking for a response to then be like, yeah, I'm cool, you know, I'm good. It's the same thing with people blasting their loud music in their car. They think that that's giving a response that makes them feel good. In reality, it looks ridiculous, and it sounds ridiculous. I mean, when you see somebody coming through and their music is blaring and they're like, yeah, it looks stupid, it looks ridiculous. You're annoyed by it. You're like, ugh, turn that junk down. It's not like, oh yeah, that's so cool, I want to be that person's friend. Ooh, did you hear his exhaust? Yeah, wow, I want to be a part of that group. They're just so cool. Oh, that loud exhaust. Ooh, that one that sounds like a fart. They're so, I want to be a part of that group. Like, what are people even thinking? It's when I see like, oh, Bentley, that's nice. A woman walks out with a classy suit and she's modest and she looks put together. Wow, that looks great. It doesn't even have to be a Bentley. I'm just saying that would catch my attention way more than the one who comes out in the pink, you know, Corvette, and the woman's super revealing and super, you know, all over the place, because one is demanding, look at me, and the other one is not. The other one is just there. It's just this quiet luxury as opposed to being super boastful, demanding the attention. You'll actually end up probably saving quite a bit more money adopting more of a subtle luxury type lifestyle, because you're not going to need as much. You don't require as much. You don't need 50 purses because you are happy with the 3 quality ones. You don't need a whole vanity for makeup because you know the shades that work for you and that look good. And same thing with skincare. You find what you love. It might be pricey, but it works for you. You stick to that. So it's just minimizing. It's a form of minimalism in an elevated way, and you can adopt that with so many things, like credit cards, for example. In my past, I think the most credit cards I had at one time was like 15 or something. Of course they all had balances on them because I used them everywhere. I mean, Kohl's, I don't know if I had a Kohl's card, but they definitely had a Container Store card and a Banana Republic at one time. So these store cards that charge you 30-something% would have been better to just have one American Express, or one card that I'm putting on points or that I'm using and paying or whatever to build a credit, instead of 15 different ones or 20 different cards or 20 different things to get from all of these different places. And that's just a part of the learning, is thinking that you need all of this from everywhere all the time. The problem with that is trends come and go. There's always going to be something. There's always going to be something trendy. There's always going to be something that you want. Always going to be the next greatest thing, and you need this. And that's the problem with like TikTok shops. It is fast fashion, and it's wasteful. It's so wasteful because you're just going through stuff, boom, 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 boom. And it's like, whoa, I can't even keep up. Like, you're going to bankrupt yourself doing that, chasing that. And so you're trading your time, you're trading your life for money. I mean, for stuff. Well, you're trading it for money, and then you're trading the money for stuff. And then you have to work more to get make more, and you're doing the same thing. So it becomes a cycle. And this is really what I stress for women to get out of, is invest in quality things, quality home things, quality bedding. Spend the extra. You're going to spend on good quality sheets, a set of king sheets and a nice organic linen or organic cotton. You're going to spend a couple, $200-$300. Oh well, you get 2 sets of those, you're good for probably a couple years, because you just rotate them. Even if they were only good for a year, but you rotate them, wash them, you'll get a couple years out of them. That's better than having 15 polyester sets or 10 polyester sets, which then you need those organizers that I see women. It looks like a little suitcase that they put over their sheets. You've seen those, and they put like a little label on them and they mark queen, king, or whatever, and then they line them up like files. It looks like binders, but their sheets are bedding. And then they line them up in their closet, and they're like twins, kings, you know, and it's like, well, how many do you have? Because now you have to spend the money organizing the overloaded stuff that you have, when you could just have a couple good ones instead of all these polyester ones that are cheap, that are not good for you anyways, that you're rolling around in. So that's the difference in the quiet luxury world and the boastful. It also shows discipline, because you're also adopting that. When you adopt that mindset, even your eating changes. You eat less, but you eat better quality. So you're eating for nutrient dense purposes. So my rule is like 80-20. 80% of the time, food is nutrients. It's dense nutrition and it's fuel. That's it. There's no emotional connection to it. I'm not eating for boredom. I'm not, eating for comfort. 20% of the time I am. 20% of the time it's comfort, it's holiday, it's a party, it's a festivity. I'm really enjoying it. I'm not really thinking about the calories. I'm more thinking about the taste and the environment, and you know, what am I experiencing, the culture of something, you know. But if your food is comfort all the time, and you're using that for that experience, that emotional support, you're eating, it's comfortable, you're going to gain weight. And what happens is it's really hard to have that luxury stance when you're overweight, because nothing fits right and you don't feel good. And so if you don't feel good, you don't look good, and it just looks kind of undisciplined. I mean, when you see somebody who's really, really chubby or blubbery, and I was too, I'm not knocking it, but I'm saying the truth, it looks undisciplined. You can't talk your way out of that, because what you're showing is what people are going to react to. They're going to see that first, and they're automatically going to think this person is not disciplined. They're not disciplined because look at their body. So it's part of the process of disciplining yourself and coming up higher. It's like you're raising your standards. You're coming up to a place where you're saying, no, I'm not going to eat that way all the time like I used to. And so you can still enjoy, you know, it's about the enjoyment. But if you're making that your day-to-day, your daily habit, and you're not being mindful about what you're eating, and you're just, you know, overly consuming, it's going to show. It's going to show. This is especially true for women. When you see a woman that's in shape, that has definition, she's in shape and she's muscle, you automatically think, man, she knows what she's doing. I mean, it's like a subconscious thing where you automatically think she must be smart. She's well respected. She doesn't mess around. She's disciplined. You know, it's like the first thing that you think of. So these are reactions that you're getting for what you're putting out there. This is how people are reacting and responding back to you. So if you want a different response, you have to present yourself differently. Your words, how you carry yourself, what you talk about, how you dress, what you purchase, what you listen to, everything that's coming in is coming out. So it's a response. You want that response to change. You want people to respect you. You want people to look up to you. You want people to come to you for advice. You want to be a person of authority and a person in charge, or have dominion over something or some business or some occupation. Or you got to dial it in. You have to get those things under control. You got to get your diet under control. You have to exercise. You have to become what it is you're wanting to achieve. You have to be that first. So do the work. And as you're doing the work, it's not going to be pretty. Working out is not pretty. I'm up here getting my steps in and walking. I enjoy it. I'm not going to be all done up with makeup and a skirt and a dress on and a blazer. I'm on a rooftop. So during the time that you're building, just be you. That's, just show up to show up, because that's preparing you for that time when you're actually going to be putting on that blazer or putting on that dress or going to that party or stepping out and speaking or doing something. Now you're going to have, things are going to fit, and you've already prepared yourself for it, along the way. You're preparing yourself. I would rather be hidden in plain sight while God is working on me than I would be than demanding, hey, look at me. Hey, look what I'm doing. Hey, let me get your attention. Hey, check out these breasts, you know, check out these eyelashes, check out this, you know, like everybody is, it becomes a form of vanity where you're, again, you're demanding that look, you're demanding people look at you, you're demanding them to respond to this. And then that's when a lot of the girls will wear those like really bright, it's like bright everything, big bold letters, like, you know, tight everything, big hats, big bold letters, bright lipstick, tons of jewelry, tons of makeup, you know. It's like you can't even really see the person because it's so done up. And this is the same for design, because sometimes people overdo their house. Like you can't see the beauty in the home or the aesthetic or the floors or the windows or the tall ceilings because it's so, you know, consumed with all these little things that are almost choking out the actual beauty, the beauty of it. And I see women without, sometimes they have a ton of makeup on, they don't look as good as when they do when they have just a little bit. I'm like, wow, you actually look really beautiful without all of that, you know. So it's pulling back a little bit and just embracing that natural beauty and then enhancing it, taking care of it, stewarding it. Same with your home. Embrace the beauty of the home or where you live and allow that to flow with you, or to have a good flow, and then to build within that. So you're not suffocating the place that you're in. And then you're like, it's too small, it's too tight, it's too dark, it's too this. Well, pull back a little bit. Try to enhance it the best that you can while you're there. The more that you put in, the more it's probably going to ruin it. So, except for Christmas. I love Christmas. Can never ruin a place with Christmas. Well, I guess you can. You could have too much Christmas, and that's actually an area that I have to pull back on sometimes because I love it so much. Sometimes I'm like, maybe if I just do 3 trees and not 4, I'll have a little bit more space. But 'tis the season to have some fun festivities. But in general, I'm saying keep your space, allow the flow in your home. It's like you're allowing negative space. That's the same thing in design and with your appearance. There's negative space. It's not all done up. So like the Ralph Lauren style I was reading was a set of 3. So you have an outfit and then you have 3 accessories only. That's your max. So it's like earrings. You wouldn't do earrings and a necklace. You would do one or the other. Belt, you know, sunglasses, purse, something like that. So it's just like 3 accessories. But if you have a hat, sunglasses, necklace, earrings, nose ring, bracelets, rings, big purse, you know, colorful shirt, it's too much. So that is taking away from the natural beauty and the natural look. The negative space or the open space in the home and in your outfit says I'm elevated. It's an elevated look because it's not screaming for attention. It just is. It's just there. It's just beauty. It's just the natural beauty of it. I think that's a very feminine and strong place to be when you tone it down a little bit and you don't have to add in all these like flashy flashy things, because it's just beautiful as it is. It's like a flower. It's beautiful as they just bloom. They're beautiful as they are, you know. So that's my chat for today. Hope you enjoyed it.